And every time you're in the case, what you have here, possibility to get back to your case browsing, which is right this directory right up here on the upper left corner. And we're gonna go into our case for now, and as you can see, again, here are photos, here's our documentation, and everything else regarding the files you have, it's right here. So you can see there's some digital files, so we can have scans uploaded, our design uploaded, everything you want to put in there will come in useful for all of the team to discuss. And now, as I said in the last video, we're gonna start with a new design. So how do we make a new design? First of all, you need to have photos, and most important photo is this one, which you will use to create a smile design. So as you can see, a couple of things about this photo. The orientation of the head, it's parallel to the Frankfurt line, and you can see both of her left and right side of the cheek or ears clearly, so her head is not moved left or right, and all of those tips and tricks are important to create a better design. The second thing also, you can see her full smile, so her lower lip is distanced a bit from her smile, and you can see everything at the gum level. So it's important that the patient can smile, so you can easily design in this photo, so you can see all of the margins of the gum area. But in some cases, some patient you cannot see their teeth, and I'm gonna show you what we do in these cases. We can overlap a couple of photos for this scenarios. So this is the photo we're gonna use. I'm just gonna add a star to it so I can find it easily. And what we wanna go to, you have here, as you can see, documentation and projects. Documentation, all your photos, communication, everything's here. When you go into the projects, we have three project possibilities for now. And first we're gonna start with this design, where we do a 2D design. The second one is compare. You can compare videos before and after, or photos before and after. Review is a cool feature. I'm gonna show it to you a bit later. And in this feature, you can analyze your 3D files. So you can upload DICOM files, which is basically your CBCT scan. You can overlap it with your design, with your models, and you get a really good reviewing possibilities for the case you're working on. So we're gonna get back to it later. As I said, we're gonna start with this design. And just to have it more clear, as you can see, first thing we need to add portrait photo. And it's sometimes hard to find the photo amongst all of these pictures, so I just put the star so I can find it more easily. Or you can go into initial documentation and just find it there. So I'm gonna use this photo. Now, the smile design is already gonna help you. The smile cloud is already gonna help you by trying to level the photo, but in this moment when you upload the photo, you can easily tilt and choose the working plane. So this step is really important, because in this step you are trying to align your patient, basing and face him and face his jaw in your plane in which you're gonna design the case. So what I want this line usually to be leveled with the eyes. Sometimes it's not the case, because not everybody has perfectly symmetrical eyes, nor should they, don't get me wrong. But what we want here, we want to decide which is the exact plane in which we are working our case. This is important for everybody in this case, working on it, because we are basically using this photo as a face bow, so the technician can align his model's looking at this photo, so everybody's looking at this case from the same angle. So let's say we are happy with how we designed, how we placed her, and you can see here we have this first step finished. A couple of steps, you just go one by one. First we decide the facial references. We go to the next step, which is lip contour. Usually it just draws the lip contour by yourself, but you can drag these little points and design it better by yourself, as you can see here. All right. Perfect. Now the next step, it's starting the design. So this is the next step where we want to adjust our fine-tuned restorative space. One thing when working with this program, when you double click on a photo, it will zoom in. When you double click, it will zoom out. So that's a great feature. Double zoom out. Okay, double click. So, or also you can just scroll to get inside. Now, when I'm doing this design, I want to adjust this bar perfectly to the gum contour, because in this case I'm gonna do a composites. That means I won't be able to change the gum shape. So I want to respect the papillas and respect the outline of the existing teeth, because we only want to be additive. We cannot change the gum contour with composites. I mean, we can change it by doing some gingivectomy, but we don't want to change it in this case. And this is the where all the magic happens. As you can see, you have this yellow frame. This framework is actually your input to this engine of SmileCloud, who will create the library of the teeth you need. First thing first, you want to position it correctly in the midline, and you do it by grabbing this little T there. You grab it, press it, and then you can move your midline. I want to position it the way I'm correctly following the papilla, and the midline is correctly matched. The lower line, it's meant to change the proportions of the teeth. As you can see, this number is changing. Those are the proportions of the chosen frame you have chosen. We don't never want to go below 90 because it's not possible, and those are mostly abraded teeth. What we want to do, we want to stay between 85% and 75%, and depending on what you want to design, on how the patient looks like, it's up to you, so you can change this design. Sometimes when you cannot go any lower than this, you can do the next step, and the next thing you can do is basically move this white line. As you can see, both sides are moving simultaneously. So I'm gonna narrow it a little bit, since it's a bit maybe too wide for now, and just narrowing it down to match the canines. If you want to asymmetrically choose and move just one side, you can do it. Moving one side on Mac is by pressing Option key. When you press an Option key, as you can see, I'm moving only one side. So this tool allows us to have asymmetrical design. So it's important because very rarely we have like a symmetrical patient. We just need to add composite. So pressing Option, or if you have like a Windows keyboard or laptop, you can press, I think it's Control button. If Control doesn't work, I think it's maybe Alt button. So pressing the Option on Mac, I can move anything asymmetrically. So also I want to move this out of frame of our bar. So this actually means how wide our smile is. If we make it wide like this, that means we can see a lot of her teeth. We want to follow the existing shape of her existing smile. So I'm gonna add it like this. As you can see, she's not symmetrical, so one side's a bit lower than the other side. So I'm gonna press Option key again and add it to the other side as well. As you can see, trying to match our designing frame to match the existing teeth as perfectly as possible. But it's not important to be completely 100% sure here, because when you go to the next step, you can always edit single tooth by tooth. So in this step, we want to be precise just to get the better library, and then we can proceed with our design more easily. Okay, let's get back to this frame. Now, I'm here in the middle, so maybe we won't make the teeth too long. I'm just gonna try and adjust it a little bit more. Okay, I like this. Now, some things I don't like, I'm just gonna adjust it. Maybe this side should be more higher. I don't like the outline of this second incisor here as well. As you can see, it's fitting much better now. Papillas. If you want to move the papilla positioning, once you move one of them, all of them will move. If you press Option key or Control or Alt key, you can move single by single. So that's the individuality of each patient. That's amazing tool which we want to have. So let's raise this side a little bit up. Perfect there. There are also some tools. When you press this T button, you get to move, you get this line with these two small dots. When you press on this dot, you can also change the curvature of the cervical part of the smile. And when you press the lower one, you can change the incisal angulation of this smile line. So it's all of this information will help you to give as more information to the Smile Design software as possible. So I like this framework which I'm working on now, and I'm just gonna go to the next step. So I think everything looks good now. Okay, let's go to the next step. Now this is where all the magic happens. Now the Smile Design software, it's gonna give you the first design it came up to his mind based on the information you gave it to him. Usually it doesn't have to be good. As you can see here, it doesn't look great at all, but there's a couple of things you need to do. First things first, on the left side you will get suggested libraries, so you can easily scroll up and down to see existing libraries based on the information you gave it to them in the step before, which smile should look better for this patient. So you can easily scroll up and down. Let's just leave it as it is now. The second thing is this design doesn't look too nice now. The gums look too red, the teeth look too yellow, and that's because we still didn't adjust the colors to match the photo. Now, what you have here, you have two things on this sidebar, lower bar. One thing is we can move and show the design. It's important to communicate with our patient. It's a great tool. And the second thing we have here, it's a measurement. We're going to talk about this later. And the next thing is we have this color choosing tool. As you can see, make them whiter, make them more darker or yellow. And to have better and more natural color, you want to go to these two little squares. This is the part where you choose the color of the gums and color of the teeth which you want the software to recognize as her own natural color. So if you put this red frame, as you can see, it becomes more dark on her lips. It will become too dark, and once you have it too dark, the gums will look unhealthy and red. So we don't want it, because it's important that we communicate with our patient that they see something they like. So I want to have it more natural color. And once you get it in more natural color, you can see already we have much better result. Regarding the color of the teeth, I also try to find the most natural color. Sometimes for the gums, I want to have as best color, and I would choose a couple of times until I get something which I like. This looks much better now. All right, and let's stop here for this part, and in the next part I'm gonna go show you how we fine-tune the smile to get what our patient might like, not something like this, because I don't think she will like this, but In the next step, we're just gonna start doing the fine tuning of her new smile.